I wake up in the morning and I think about all the things I'd like to change. And I guess if there was anything I'd like to change in my life, if I could, would be my relationship with some of the people in my life, some people I love, the people I love. I've done everything I can. I've done everything I can to try and nurture that relationship. But, at the end of the day, it always ends up feeling the same. They come into your life and you love them and you want to please them, and then they start doing those things they always do. They do those things that make you feel about 2 inches tall, and they're judgmental, and they use guilt, and they just, it's almost like they can't acknowledge that you exist the way you are, trying to change you and push in on you. And I remember they'd leave, and then there I would be. Every time they leave, there I would be. I'd be filled with guilt and shame and all these negative feelings related to our interaction. I had to make a tough decision about a year ago, and I just stepped away from a relationship. I just couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't take getting beat up. Couldn't take walking away feeling like a piece of crap. And for as much as I want it, for as much as I want that relationship to be better, there's just no way it's going to be better. Because what I had to come to grips with is that I can't fix them. I can't fix you. I can't, there's nothing I will ever be able to do that will help you be a better person. So for me, what I did was I just stepped away. Because I have a rule in my life. My wife and I, my family, we are a drama-free zone. So don't come in yelling, don't come in making noise, don't come in disrupting the flow of our life. It's simple. If you're not a pleasure in my life, if you don't enhance my life, and moreover, if you make your presence in my life has a negative impact on my life, you don't get to be in it. Because I've just come to the realization that we can't fix the people around us that are broken. It doesn't matter how much we love them. This isn't an issue of love. This is an issue of survival. I remember one person in particular, he'd come around and it would be like, and you're excited because you're just in your mind, you hope it'll change. You just think to yourself, because I've evolved. I'm not even close to the person I used to be 5 years ago. Life is too easy for me to be engaged in activity that causes me stress or to cause other people stress because of the things I'm doing. I just don't do it, right? But he'd come around and I'd be like, all right, hey, it's going to change this time. And eventually it would always come back to the same thing, and you'd see those indicators, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there, I'm not worthy. And I am the schmuck that he told me I was. And I should be ashamed of my house with his condescending look and his condescending attitude. You don't owe anyone anything besides you. That's the truth of it. And that's what I had to come to grips with. Is it hard? It's hard. But the truth is, you don't take poison. Poison will kill you. And that's what happens when we invite people into our life when we know they are poison to us. When we invite people into our life, and it always ends the same way, where we wake up and we're just like, ah. And it takes us a day, 2 days, 3 days to get past it. Why do we punish ourselves with that? For me, it wasn't easy. I still think, man, I wish my relationship was like theirs. I wish we could just be normal. But relationships are two-sided. And I don't care how hard you try, no matter what you do, if you have a relationship like that, you can't fix them. There is nothing you will ever be able to do beyond kindness and empathy and consideration to change that relationship. Now, if you're the problem, but chances are if you're the problem, you wouldn't be listening to this. Because people who treat other people that way generally believe that anything in their life is somebody else's fault. See, the reason I'm sitting here right now doing the thing I do is because this helps me be a better person. This helps me be a better husband. This helps me be a better friend. because I know that my opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter more than my friendship. It doesn't matter more than my relationship. And I know that no matter how much I want someone to change, the ticket to having a great relationship with those people is to accept them as they are. Not to judge them, not to try and change them, not try and manipulate them into doing the things you want to do. But just to say, I'll take you. I'll take you with all your flaws. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you wake up and you know you shouldn't have done it, and you get back together, and then you walk away from it feeling like crap. And you ask yourself, why do I do this? Oh, I knew it was going to end that way. Because you know. Because relationships are two-sided. And if one side isn't willing to work, if one side is so broken that they can't seem to escape the demons they carry, and they always respond the same way, and then they justify it, you're never going to have what you want. You're always going to walk away from it hurt. And if it happens to be someone you're in a relationship with, sorry, but it's a two-way street. It's not your fault they're making the choices they're making. You're not your fault they drink and then get mean. It's not your fault they're inconsiderate and they don't care about you, or they make choices that compromise your stability. It's not your fault they withhold affection. If you're giving everything you got and you're getting nothing back, then maybe that's time for you to step away. And God forbid, I've been married 39 years, and the last thing I would ever say is for anyone to break up a relationship. But there's a point when relationships aren't relationships anymore. There's a point when the relationship is one-sided, and you're the one that gets kicked in the stomach every time that person shows up in your life. And it takes strength. It takes courage. There are people in my life that I love that I have no contact with. There are people in my life that I love that I don't call, that I don't take their calls. Is it easy? No, it isn't easy. I still love these people, but I just can't have them in my life because all they are is poison to me. And it takes courage for that. But you're not alone. If you're sitting in a relationship where every time you get together with someone, you walk away and you feel about 2 inches tall and you don't feel worthy, and you're filled with all this guilt and all these regrets because of the things they do to you and how they manipulate you, then the only thing you can do is walk away and accept that choice. Because we can't fix them. The only people we can fix are us. We are the only ones we can fix. And just, it's funny, I guess maybe the part of that, there is a certain amount of responsibilities. No one can make you feel any way except you. I woke up yesterday morning, I was a little off kilter. But what's cool about it is I've spent so much time talking to myself and evaluating who I am and sharing my honesty and my truth with my wife that I got up yesterday morning. The first thing I said is I'm feeling off. I'm not feeling this today. Somewhere we refer to it as being in the pit. I was circling the drain. Okay, I was just diving off. Everything had been going so good, and I'm feeling so good about my life, and everything was kind of circling. It was time to fall, and instead of me denying that, I just told her, I says, honey, I'm not feeling it. I got to go out and get in my head. I got to go out and talk about this because I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling. I'm trying to justify and find reasons why I continue to do some of the things I do. I mean, this podcast is one of them. This podcast, it's hard because oftentimes what happens is I dig up old crap that I remember about me, and it has an impact because I haven't resolved those issues yet. It has an impact because I haven't addressed those things that I had tucked away behind all the other crap, and then it rears its head, and all of a sudden I am as vulnerable as I've ever been. But I can fix me, and you can fix you. You can step back from everything you're doing right now, and you can choose to every interaction to be based on kindness and empathy. And you can step back from those relationships. You can define the rules and you can say, hey, listen, this is how it's going to go. This is what I expect from you. And if it doesn't go this way, then I am not going to interact with you anymore. You can do that. Is it going to be hard? It's going to be hard as hell. And the closer they are to you, the more difficult it is. It's not a matter of love, though. It's a matter of survival. If you've got someone in your life who's pushing in on you, who doesn't regard you in the same way you regard them, who intimidates you and tries to manipulate you and criticizes you and tries to tear you down so they can feel better about themselves, that's poison. We don't take poison. I give a jar of poison to you and just take a swig of it because of our relationship. Why poison yourself? Life's hard enough. Life's hard enough as it is. You're struggling as it is. Why would you allow yourself to use bandwidth on people who aren't even close to having the same consideration for you as you have for them? There's a point when you have to preserve it. Save that energy for people who are worthy of it. Save that energy for people who are willing to give it back, are willing to accept you for who you are, flaws and all, and love you for that. Not criticize you, not tell you what you should do, where you should be. We all have people like that in our lives. We all have people like that in our lives that we love, but we just cannot be around because it hurts so bad. It's fine. Draw your line. Draw your line today. Say today is the last day I'm going to get off the phone with him or her and I'm going to cry. Today's the last day I'm going to endure the abuse that the condescending comments and the snide comments and the disrespect. Today's the day it stops. Today's the day you're not going to charge into my life and run me over. That's what it amounts to. Living your best life isn't just about the adventures in Hawaii. It isn't just about the adventures visiting the Amazon jungle or going scuba diving off of the Keys. Isn't about living in a fifth wheel and traveling around the country every day. For some of us, living our best life is about repairing the holes in us. It's about repairing the holes created by people who will not respect us, who don't care about us in the same way that we care about them, or won't give us our due and back off when they need to. We can't fix them. There are no words I will ever say to you that will change you. There's nothing I'll say here on this podcast that will make you do what I'm suggesting you do. You're in charge of that. You're the one who will say, okay, I'm done. I have become a drama-free zone. And if their presence in my life isn't a pleasure, they don't get to be in my life. Those are some hard lines. Those are real hard lines, but if you don't define it, they will never be defined. If you don't say, I am worthy. I am worthy of courtesy, empathy, kindness, and respect. I am worthy to not be judged, to not be criticized for who I am. Take it or leave it. You see where I am on this? I don't have to worry about what you think of what I'm saying because I've lived it. That's just the bottom line. This is not one of those uplifting podcasts. I'm sorry, this is not Saturday Night Live. This is the truth, and it's about us taking our life to the next level. It isn't designed to be entertaining. It's designed to be insightful. And for those of you who are thinking, I'm not going to listen to another podcast, you know why? I'm okay with that because you're not ready yet. But there are people who are. I'm sure there are people who are that listen to this and go, God damn, how do you know? Well, the reason I know is because I've lived it. The reason I know is because people I love are no longer in my life. And my life's better for it. Am I proud of that? No, I'm not necessarily proud of it. I'm proud of it from the standpoint of I was strong enough to define those boundaries in spite of me loving them. In spite of how much I love them, I was strong enough to say, you know what, you're not doing this to me anymore. And if you can't find a way to stop and correct your behavior, I can. I can find a way to alleviate the pain I feel every time you come into my life. And I took action on it. And I'm standing by it. Does that mean it's over? Well, that depends on them. Depends on them. But I don't see anything changing. People who are the way they are and who do the things they do that have involve pressing in on other people and running over other people, they generally don't change. Because in their mind, there's nothing wrong with them. And that's fine. I can't do anything about that. All I can do is run my life. All I can do is make choices for me, and you're in the same boat. So, not to run you down, not to drag you into the pit, not to be uninspiring, but the truth is you own this life. You own every moment of your life, and no one's going to care for your life more than you. And sometimes it requires hard choices. Sometimes you have to face shit you don't want to face. But on the other side, guess what? On the other side, you wake up and there is no guilt because you had you thought about it. You took the time to think about who you are and what you need. And that person did not make your life better. That person did not add or enhance your life. And that's really what it's about. You get one chance. Live it. You get one chance to do what you do. Make the most of it. Make the best of it. Live your best life. So, anyway, this is a tough one for me because it's so close to me. It's a tough one for me because it's in my heart on this one. But I just want you to know this is not just about celebrating the new motorcycle and the monster adventures. This living your best life is right there personal with you. It is about those little things that the world doesn't know anything about. It's about the little struggles you face alone. So anyway, I hope you'll keep listening. I hope this helps. I really do. I woke up one day and I said, I think I'm going to try and change the world. And I don't know if I am or not. I'm going to try and change one person at a time and let you know that it's okay to be you. Let you know that it's okay for you to be imperfect. And it's okay for you to draw lines and boundaries when it makes your life better. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't backpedal on it. Make that decision and do it and take action on it and hold to your line because you only get one chance. You only get one chance at every moment you're given and then it's gone. So anyway, I could keep going on this one, but I think I'll give you a break. So for now, I just want to remind you, I'll leave you with just remember today's your day. Make it a good one.